We're delighted to have industry experts with us who will be sharing their insights, market observations, and perspectives of the future of Ras Al Khaimah. But before we commence, I would like to invite our Chief Strategy Officer, Manya Vereki, to present her welcome note.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all very much for being with us today. This is our first panel discussion on Marjan Islands. OBG is a brand with over 15 years of experience in Dubai real estate and the brands. And the people behind it, I can say more than 25 years. So from the beginning, inception of freehold real estate, the leadership of OBG has been in real estate. Now, for OBG to select Marjan as a destination, as a platform to sell exclusive projects would make you wonder why. Why not just Dubai? Why not just Abu Dhabi? Why open up to Marjan Island? And this is what the objective of today's panelists are all about, to understand the value added to having sales, and for investors, why should they choose Marjan Island as a destination. We have with us today developers, we have real estate agents, we have realtors, we have people who've been in the industry for far more than a decade. Their experience says 1,000 words, and this is where we want you to interact with our panelists today. It's not a one-way communication. It's not just for you to listen to what they have to say. We want you to challenge the questions. We want you to ask if you have any concerns, and why should your investors invest in Marjan Island. With no further ado, I would like Danielle, who is our
Associate Director.
So I've been with OBG for over a decade, I must say.
Surprised. And matured with a few grey hairs on the way.
And you have sold multiple units, not only in Dubai, but also in Marjan Islands, with a lot of repeat clients who have invested in Marjan Island over the years. With Daniel, he will be moderating the session. I'll let him take the lead introducing our panelists today. Thank you all for being here.
Good afternoon, guys. Thanks for coming once again. So I'll go through it. So we've got Mr. Saurabh Gupta here. He's the CEO of the W Residences on Marjan Island. We have someone that's on the way, Mr. Khaled Assaf. He is a commercial director for our Marjan Island. He will be here probably in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Well, Anthony, I'm sure everyone knows Anthony. He's very big in the real estate market here. He's got a big social media presence. I would say very much a legend of the real estate market. And then we've got our CEO Umar bin Farooq, another legend of the real estate market. So I'm going to now jump in and ask the questions, and yeah, we'll get it going. So the first question is to you, Umar. Okay, so
You start from here?
do you want me to cut? Do you want to?
No, it's
you got
fine.
mine?
Yeah.
You got that one there. Okay, brilliant. So, how has OBG positioned itself as a leading real estate agency in the content of our Marjan Island's rapid growth?
So I think firstly, thank you everyone for coming. The way we saw Marjan Island, I would also give immense credit, since Khaled is not here. A lot of credit to Khaled. He actually first introduced me to Marjan Island and what's happening. It's very important, I think, like most of you guys and like any other personnel in Dubai that is doing Dubai real estate, Marjan Island to me initially was little bit of alien, right? And I did not understand the market till I visited Marjan Island, till actually Khaled forced me to visit Marjan Island. Then he explained me what exactly is happening in Marjan Island. The moment I understood it, I'm sure all of us here, we are in real estate, we understand numbers, we understand our bottom line is, if my client is going to invest, what is the upside? Or second thing is, if he's going to invest, what is the yield going to be and what is the future? So once Khaled explained me all of that, it made sense. That's when we got lucky with our first project, which was JW Marriott. And then we got W Residence, a beautiful project on Marjan Island. Then we got Luxury Collection, Nasim Al Bahar, and We have a few more projects. Art House. We did all our residents.
Sold out.
And we we did Plaza to Soli and all. Projects that we did. So Marjan, the reason I think it's very important and it's a very easy product to sell, Marjan Island as a concept, only when you understand the pitch about Marjan Island, what is happening in Marjan Island. My belief in Marjan Island is all of us talk about Wynn. Wynn is not the end. The way I look at it, Wynn is just the beginning of Al Marjan and Ras Al Khaimah in general.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the questions will be when Khaled does turn up is when will the wind actually be over you? But that's something you guys can ask when he's here. So, Saurabh, I'm going to jump into you. Am I right saying the king of hospitality? Is that sort of right? Is that the right sort of bracket? No, to pick you in? Okay,
A
so...
student of us.
Student of hospitality. Kings on the stage.
Yeah. I'm not one of them.
Okay, so I've got the first question for you really is, so from a buyer's point of view, so what buyer profiles are targeting for the W residents on Marjan Island, and how does this align with the island's overall vision? There we go.
Yeah, I mean, when we bought this land, this was pre-Wynn. So we are the original believers, as Khaled and his boss, Abdullah, keeps saying. And the reason was when we went over there, we genuinely liked what we saw. You had world-class infrastructure. You had 7 operating hotels in that bucket. You had hotels doing 75% occupancy at about a decent 700 dirham rate. That was pre-Wynn. So the rates, then land rates were 1/4 of Dubai. At that time, I think it was 1/5 of Dubai. So we just felt that it was a fantastic opportunity for a developer like us to develop a hotel over there.
So can I have a question? Did you know that the wind was coming before you purchased the land?
No. I had no idea. I mean, sometimes fortune favors the brave.
True.
But yeah, once Wynn was announced, it took some time for the market to get a sense. We were actually quite perplexed because we bought, and I think 3 or 4 or 5 months later, they announced Wynn. But the rates did not go up for about a good 9 to 10 months. So the market took time to process that, there is something mega coming out.
I think there was a lot of, is it coming, is it not coming? Because it was started being built. We see it coming out the ground. There was lots of questions. Is it the wind? Is it not the wind? And only really when they came out and, put it out into the public domain, then really it sort of got that sort of traction and that noticeability.
Correct. So then and even now, what I feel is that who invests in in Marjan Island, surprisingly, I find specifically in our project, there are a lot more foreigners or international investors who get the logic of what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 2.7 square kilometer of limited land mass. I say limited because you cannot construct more land in Marjan Island. Land is what it is, right? And in that 2.7 square kilometer, you have the center. Here is Wynn, which is 19 billion dirham of investment by a single project. Now, you put 19 billion dirham anywhere. My sense is that will create a ripple effect around it. And all of that is a great demand.
Yeah.
So anybody who has seen international markets and anybody who's seen how real estate has moved with a big catalyst coming in a very short span of time and our rates move up, is a believer. And therefore, the early believers have been
they're the
Marjan Delps.
They're the ones that benefit in terms of coming in at the right price per square foot to where we are now. Okay, great. I'm going to jump onto you, Anthony, if that's all right, because Khaled is not here yet. So I do have everything in order, but unfortunately, it's just a little bit
Too many people.
too many papers, exactly. So once again, thanks for coming today, mate, because I know you're a busy man. So you've been an influencer and a voice in the regional for the real estate for some time now. I see you pretty much on Instagram, Facebook. I see you on LinkedIn, and I follow you. How has your perspective from Ras Al Khaimah and Marjan Island evolved? What's your opinion?
So I want to tell you, the first time I heard about Ras Al Khaimah, it was like we used to pitch it to clients whoever wanted to get a cheaper trade license. So if you don't want to pay 30 for Dubai, go take a ride. That's the first time. But then after I visited Ras Al Khaimah, I kind of felt like the beauty of it. It feels like an island. It doesn't feel like an emirate. So it's, Dubai, it feels like a busy city. Yeah, I grew up. Abu Dhabi feels like a bit of the suburbs. Yeah. Ras Al Khaimah feels like an island. Yes, that vibe. So I fell in love with like the support, the red sand over there. I like that's really it's nice. And I started going more often just to have staycations. Yeah, and then as everyone said, the announcement came. What's Marjan? And so we started go looking. I'm like, shape of that island is beautiful. Yeah. However, as you said previously, that we didn't know what's coming because the wording was a gaming center. They never said it's a casino. So we were all observing what's gonna happen. But so many people jumped in it. To be very honest, I was like eyeing it. I wanted to see if it's gonna be like the next thing. And then after like developers started launching project, I jumped myself into. I bought in Adar, Nikki Beach, which I found it really nice. Price per square feet was really cheap. Yeah, it was like almost 2,200 dirhams a square foot.
So one of the questions I think he was going to ask is has the boat sailed with our Marjan under, or is there still an opportunity there to come in?
Say this, like imagine just from the announcement that there's a casino coming.
Yeah,
Everyone went there, and you've seen prices started from, let's say 1,800 dirhams.
Yeah.
And some developers were selling for 4,500 dirhams. Yeah, I'm a firm believer that next year, maybe in Q2 2027, the casino will be operational. Yeah, and then we're gonna see a lot of new people coming just to visit. And upon them coming, seeing, I'm sure they're gonna fall in love with it, and then the demand will even triple up to when the demand earlier. So now people are buying for an idea. Yeah, imagine seeing is very big, right?
of course, being touching it, I agree. So I'm going to continue with you, Anthony, because obviously Khalid's not quite here yet. So just another thing, we talked about the pricing. So, you've been obviously in the real estate game a long time. You've been in Dubai. You've seen, the market back in 2011, 2012 to where we are now, price per square foot. Where do you think, obviously, because you've been here a long time, where do you think this price square foot will end for hospitality brands?
You cannot really put a price to it, to be very honest. It's all based on the dynamics of the Middle East, first of all. Because if you want to look into casinos, there's in Lebanon. Yeah. Which is very basic, small one. Yeah. And there's going to be an UAE, right? So Iraq does there very much casinos. So I think it would attract a lot. Yeah. Especially coming from the Gulf. And not to mention the Turkish. It's a population that they do love gambling, and it's really heavily investing in Dubai for the past 2-3 years. So I cannot put a price for it, but all what I can tell you that the developers who launched in a very reasonable price are giving room for their investors to double up that money. And whoever really started launching 4,500 dirhams a square foot, I don't think it's gonna be having much more room to grow. Yeah. Okay, and we're gonna be observing for the next 2 years what's gonna happen in the region. If everything settles in the region, maybe it can go to 10,000 dirhams.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know for people that are bought there, that they can hit that 10,000. Question for you, Umar, if you don't mind. Obviously, just from a brokerage point of view, so how do you see the broker and developer relationship evolving on our Marjan Island? It obviously attracts larger international players, but what's your sort of overview? Obviously, OBG's got a big relationship with various developers.
I'll continue with the previous question and I'll get on to that. Very important for all of us. Now, why do I personally think, or we as OBG think that Marjan Island, the prices will go up? No, there has to be a reason, right? Now, at present, and I've said it previously as well, at present, Ras Al Khaimah attract 1.28 million visitors a year. very important for all of you guys to know the numbers, because then only it will make sense. So you have 1.28 million visitors a year right now, and there is no Wynn, right? Now, when Wynn comes or when Wynn opens, how is that going to impact the traffic, right? So we take an example. We take an example of something like Macau, right? Macau, those of you who have been to Macau, Macau has nothing but casinos. There is no other tourist spot or anything else, right? So it's only a casino. Now, Macau attracts almost around 38 million visitors a year. Now, if I have to ask you guys, will you go to Macau or will you go to UAE? My preference, I'll go to UAE for 1,000 reasons. Now, if Macau is attracting 38 million visitors, RAK Tourism, they did a study, a very conservative number. What they are saying is they are anticipating around 5 million visitors a year once Wynn opens. Now, what happens when these 5 million visitors? Now, again, Macau is 38 million, and we are only expecting, being extremely conservative at 5 million. If 5 million visitors come a year with a room capacity, we say 1:3, Mr. Saurabh can tell us in hotel, one room, 3 people. Not 3 people are not going to stay there, but then as an occupancy, we in Ras Al Khaimah, in Al Marjan specifically, are short of 44,000 rooms. Currently, there are about 7,000 rooms that are available there, right, in the project which are already delivered. Once the new hotels that are keys that are going to be handed over, those are going to be another 8,000. So you'll have somewhere around 15 to maximum 20,000 keys. 20,000 keys serving 5 million visitors. Now, 5 million visitors, why I think it's still an extremely conservative number. You see the location of UAE. At a 6 hours of flight radius, right, we cover almost 50 to 60% of global population. Yeah. I'm Indian, we are 3 hours away. All my cousins are 3 hours away. And we are 1.4 billion. Yeah. Right? And then you have China.
And growing.
And growing. And then you have China. So you have India, you have China. And then if you take 7 hours of flight radius, you're covering 70% of global population. Now, why would people come? Is because they're not only coming for Wynn. And Al Marjan is not only about Wynn. It's about the experience. They're going to have concerts there. They're going to have a beautiful experience of shopping arcades that are going to be there. And the properties that are coming up, like W, right? Like JW, like the luxury collection. And there are so many other good brands that are actually Fairmount is coming. Fairmount is coming there. And you have so many other fantastic brands. Sheraton is there. So with all of this coming, they will be attracting a lot of tourists. And the main center is Wynn. How many keys does Wynn have? 1,500 keys. And that's about it. So 1,500 keys, imagine how many people will be going to RAK. So because the occupancy I'm expecting is going to be high, at present, as Mr. Saurabh said, there is 75% of occupancy right now. No Wynn. Imagine when the Wynn opens, I feel the occupancies are going to go up. When your occupancy is up, your average daily rate, ADR, in hotels, if something is renting for 500 and 700 dirhams a night, a hotel room right now, I feel those will rent for 2,000 and 2,500 and maybe 3,000 dirhams a night. When you have 3,000 dirhams a night hotel room going for, and if you have bought a property, right, your return will be higher. So if I had bought a studio, for example, for 1.2 million, and at a 70% occupancy at 800 dirhams a night, if I'm getting somewhere around 320, 330,000 after minus. So technically my property value when I sell it I should be selling it at 3.5 million for an investor to get 10% return. So that's why I believe Marjan, once it's completed, everything is completed, I believe it is going to be 10,000 dirhams a square foot. So that's my take on that.
Yeah. I think if you look, I think there was a survey done in terms of hospitality brand in Macau, wasn't it? And they and I think was it you? Someone mentioned to me, and I think now your branded residences in Macau sell for around, I think it's around 12,000 dirhams a square foot, and non-brand is around 8,000 to 9,000 dirhams a square foot. So I think you're very much right in what you say. I think they will hit that levels. What we can do, I can let maybe Saurabh add on to that. Obviously, being within the hospitality, do you want to sort of add a bit on?
Sure. You know, there is some data which is readily available, so you don't have to take our word to check it. The great part about Wynn, a lot of people don't know about, is that it's where an American company has also co-invested. So Wynn Corporation is a New York Stock Exchange listed company. They are 40% owner, and RAK Hospitality is 60% owner.
Should we just
We'll just wait.
just stop 1 minute? We've got Mr. Khaled. What's he say?
I'm so sorry for this delay. It's really out of my control.
This guy is the reason why OCT is in Ras Al Khaimah.
All right, all good.
He's the reason who actually convinced me to focus on Al Marjan.
He was let me do story that did say guys I want to say. My apologies for being late, sir.
Okay. So we can go. So please intervene.
So their recent annual general body meeting numbers are out. So I was just looking through it. So interestingly, the win that they have made over here in Marjan is almost the same size as that in Macau. But their estimate is that in the first few years, they will make about 3.5 billion dirham of annual revenue, while they make 3 times of that in Macau. Right? Everybody knows that the paying propensity, which means how much can you spend, is much higher in this market as opposed to Macau, which is largely dependent on Chinese PP. Right? So you have a very high degree of the spenders who are already using the airlift available via 2 of the world's best airlines. UAE already receives about 20 to 22 million, I may be wrong here or there a little bit, 20 to 22 million tourists on an annual basis. Dubai Mall received 100 million visitors on an annual basis. My point is, if 20 million people are already coming on to Dubai Airport or Abu Dhabi Airport or both, then is it conceivable to think that 25% or 30% of them will say, oh, I want to add Ras Al Khaimah also to my itinerary?
Yeah.
It is very much conceivable. So the way I see it, think of it, guys, because you can see it on with your own eyes also. Who has from amongst you applied for a visa of Schengen visa and had a long delay or being denied?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my wife's visa, and she's Russian.
You don't need it.
No, my wife, she's Russian.
So you see, what I'm trying to get to is UAE is working on a plan where you have a Dubai, which we already all know about it with all its attractions. You add to it maybe 2 days or 3 days of Abu Dhabi with its Disneyland, etc., and Saadiyat and Louvre, etc., and you add 2 or 3 days of Ras Al Khaimah. And you have everything now. You have shopping, you have a casino, you have Broadway shows, you have museums, and you have Disneyland. And you can do a 7 or 10 day itinerary. And it will be the most incredible vacation people will ever get. So what we are what we are seeing is that this entire system of Ras Al Khaimah will very nicely plug into the existing tourism base of Dubai, and hence they are not making their own large airlines or own large airport. They have that ready. They don't need to waste energies on that. So hence I see that there's one more point I would like to make, that the quality of hotels which are coming in Marjan Island are very, very good. So this is not a market where you have cheap hotels followed by mid-market hotels, followed by upscale hotels, followed by luxury hotels. That is how most markets grow. But in Marjan, you actually have the reverse problem. Everything is luxury and upscale hotels. So the payment or the Marjan will become a very nice, rich destination, according to me, and therefore investors who have invested would see very high return on their capital employed.
No. Okay. Thanks for that. So, this is just following on from the sort of tourism. This is a question for you, Mr. Khaled. So, what is the master plan's vision for maintaining a balance between tourism and residential living? No, sorry, actually, no, let me ask this one. Sorry, this is Deborah. How is Marjan Island working to attract talent, business, and long-term residents rather than the sort of short-term visitors?
Okay, so thanks for everyone, and I'm so sorry to be here. So, by way of introduction, my name is Khaled Assaf. I'm the commercial director for Marjan. Marjan is the master developer of the emirate of Ras Al Khaimah. We work on master planning to create destinations as a Marjan Island, Marjan Beach, RAK Central. To create these destinations, that is your answer. Back to your question. We plan the future of Ras Al Khaimah. We look carefully at details. And when we look at these master plans, as our flagship is Al Marjan Island, being the now working on the planning to get it completed by 2030, 2031 to be construction free. That is one of the pillars of the touristic new upcoming destinations, anchored by Wynn, and have around 32 other hotels of around 8,500 keys, almost 18,550 planned residential units so far. Lots have been launched.
Yeah.
And majority of them are branded residents. What creates this diversity in hospitality, in residential, commercial, destinations, retail, fine dining, etc. That creates the momentum of tourism, which feeds our destination, or we talk about the Marjan Island as the master plan. Then within these hotels, we create lots of new jobs.
Yeah.
We create population growth. That is one aspect when it comes to Al Marjan Island, as well as we create a quality of residential that attracts tile of residents, that they look at this type of waterfront development, a quality of mid to low rise community, no skyscrapers, no highways. We just need something to be calm and to enjoy the lifestyle of having a Wynn Boulevard, Marjan Island developments that have a diversity in many grants. Then we look at the commercial park, which is RAK Central, the Grade A office space that is under construction today to attract some 1 million square feet of Grade A office space that we're expect to attract a lot of international and multinational companies. That creates as well more of this population growth, followed by our last master plan, the one of a kind, the largest of its kind that we have ever designed and planned, which is Marjan Beach, 85 million square feet of land area, out of which 6.5 million of green spaces, mid to low-rise communities, very easy, accessible from everywhere in between Al Hamra, the golf course, and this area, going to Al Marjan Island, a full beach front that is designed with hospitality and retail, inspired by, you can call it, the Miami Beach, with the identity of Ras Al Khaimah, of the way that we have been planning to have this public beach like a Palm West, but in a more planned and designed in a way that allows people to walk, enjoy the outdoors, as well as have the retail with the hotels. And one last thing, we are planning as well whatever the infrastructure required for the families.
I was just about to come on to that and just ask you just go into a bit about the infrastructure, about what's going on.
All right. So that's the thing. When we are talking about the infrastructure required for any families or any residents to move, what is required? We need education, we need healthcare, we need as well commercial or retail experience and attractions. This is the right hub and the right master plan that is attracting from Al Hamra, in between Al Hamra, Min Al Arab, and Al Marjan Island. So Marjan Island, more of the touristic area. Marjan Beach is more of the residential and erections and the public infrastructure. And Marjan RAK Central Square is the commercial part. So these integrate together to create what we need. In the future, there will be lots of maybe mountain development, another urban development that will be coming in the near future when we require or requested by the government to expand accordingly.
Good. Okay. This is a question to you, Umar, actually. If you just pass the mic back, please. I've got a few questions to you, but I won't go through all of them. I'll just get to the ones that I think are of value to people out there. So, as someone who's watched the RAK real estate market evolve, what is the single most transformative shift you've observed in the last 12 months?
I think the biggest shift that I saw is when we started, the market did not really know about it. I think the amount of publicity that Al Marjan got because of Wynn and all the efforts done by the Marjan Authority and the RAK government in promoting Ras Al Khaimah, even with an announcement of improving the current airport, getting the private terminal in, and all the new things that are coming there. So I think the entire experience is what kind of attracted investors. Also, when people kind of know what exactly is happening, that kind of attracts their interest in the project or in the development. The last thing that investor would want to see is, okay, if I'm putting my money, what is the possible capital appreciation that I'm going to see? I think Marjan Island ticks all the boxes and Marjan Island Authority has kind of proved the developer that, okay, this is what we can deliver. You see all the works, infrastructure works that are happening there. Before, if you know that there was no bridge that was connecting from mainland directly to Wynn. That is there. When we started selling, there was no concept of that. They saw a requirement of it. So even before they open it up, they said, okay, we're also going to connect it. So I see a lot of efforts actually being done by the master developer themselves. And working with this master developer, we have worked with a lot of master developers across Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I think working with Al Marjan, they're always hands-on. I'm not saying that others are less, but because the focus is they're very focused on Al Marjan Island itself. So you see a lot of improvements day in and day out. Recently, they went with a campaign in improving the beaches of Al Marjan. I've not heard that before. Working with the Dubai developers, I never heard it. It was, I think, a few months ago when he informed me that also improving the beaches of Al Marjan. Even if you see the water in Al Marjan, it's much better than other waters that we see in Dubai. It's much better than that. Again, I'm not saying I love Dubai. It's not that Dubai is any less. But then Marjan as a destination, I'm saying why somebody would look at Al Marjan as a future of Al Marjan.
Okay, thanks for that. Anthony, just on to you. So what would you say is the single most underreported aspect of our Marjan Islands opportunity that your followers, okay, and the broader market are not paying enough attention to?
If you look at everyone now, they're just focused on the win and the hotel. Yes, a period. No one knows what's coming, but it's what the win and the hotel and that ecosystem is breaking. So I see it as a business ecosystem coming all around to be self-sufficient by itself. So how many nurseries we need, pharmacies, laundries, and how many other services that's gonna be over there. So now people are just eyeing that main factor, which is the win, which is the great landmark over there. But there is so many stuff happening in that area will make that area even be wanted as Dubai is wanted. As we said, the licenses over there are way more cheaper than Dubai. Life in Ras Al Khaimah is way more cheaper than Dubai. And end of the day, they're 1 hour drive from Dubai. So you can still work over there and come spend the weekend here or vice versa.
I agree.
Yeah, that's some people what has question.
Okay, so should I open the? Because I'm sure, and I know for me it's a bit hot in here. I'm sure everyone's also a bit hot. Not sure what's happening with the AC, but should I open the floor up to some questions?
Yes.
So guys, feel free to stand up and we'll do one at a time. Do you want to go after?
Do you want to give? Hello, everybody. Yes. Sex sports arranging is fine for the kids. I would say I'm very much interested and I strongly believe in Ras Al Khaimah Al Marjan specifically. I studied very well worldwide casino cities. It's good. Yeah. And that's why I feel very strong belief in Ras Al Khaimah and Al Marjan itself. And my question to Mr. Palib, because my question was I read the article in LinkedIn profile of Al Marjan Holding and the Wynn Resort. The Jano Resorts were announced under the Aman Resorts Holding. And it was very good news for my clients who bought in the JW Marriott. Because as we know, usually Aman Resorts price is currently touching in Jumeirah, Dubai, between 7,000 up to 13,000 dirham per square foot. And I read the article inside Jano Resorts, there will be small casino which will be managed by Wynn or Wynn affiliates. Like if you conform, it gives some maybe. I think you blew him on the spot there because the clients I have, they are very much experienced investors. I can say proudly, they understand the value of casino, which even they educated me more than myself when I was discussing about the Wynn. And I immediately copy paste an article and I sent to all of my clients about the Jano result.
Okay. Thank you for your question. Let me comment on this. I want to know, will it really matter if that is something that I want to come up front? If today you have an anchor as Wynn, do you really need more than wins to make your call or decision? So that is something that I want to reiterate on. Guys, for how many of you have visited any of Wynn? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Let me tell you what I have seen, and I haven't even visited the Vegas, which is.
I have this background.
Okay, I visited Macau. I'm going to be there in 2 days. So I am just telling you what I have seen over there. Okay? Whatever you have seen in Dubai or in Abu Dhabi or anywhere in UAE, that doesn't really match with the quality that I have seen. When I say that, I mean the amenities, I mean the size and the type of rooms, I mean what are the service and the quality of customer service that you get from the moment that you step in at the valet parking or you leave your car, calling your name till you go inside and do a check-in, and you check all whatever is in the lobby area, which is completely mind-blowing experience. To walk around the community or the mall inside with the luxury brands inside, to have the cable car that was connecting, I'm sure that you have seen that is connecting and it's taking you outside of the hotel to this Vegas of Macau above the fountain, or restaurants that is really in a very high quality of service and level of entertainment. It's 24 hours busy. I'm not a gambler. I don't gamble, but I'm telling you that over there, it is just heaven for the people who love this type of integrated resorts. So back to your question, when we have signed with Wynn, we didn't have the intention to create a new Las Vegas. Our intention is to bring an integrated resort, and with having the Wynn, that will bring the best guest experience in the world. That will bring us a new level of tourism footfall. And based on this footfall, we create the ecosystem that goes around. So if tomorrow there is another, or even Abu Dhabi will open, or even Dubai will open, that is an addition to the entire UAE plan, which we are complementing. We are always saying we are complementing the other Emirates. We have no competition, and by adding Wynn, that is enough for us to talk about today, which is we are opening by 2027.
Can I add something over here?
Please do. Yes, please do. Please do.
I mean, I have also been asked many times over, oh, what will happen if Dubai has its own casino or Abu Dhabi has its own casino? The whole Ras Al Khaimah story will come down. I mean, Khaled has very nicely suggested that isn't the case. It complements. Again, numericals say everything. You know how many casinos are there in Las Vegas? There are 150 casinos. How many casinos are there in Macau? 26 casinos. How many are there in UAE? 1. And Middle East, exactly, Middle East. So, and if you add North Africa and then some parts of Europe also add to it. I mean, if you were to look at this entire big geographical zone till wherever your site goes without a casino, it's a very big landmass. So just the C factor, the casino factor, the answer is one is not less, one is not more. It depends on what you do with it. And this is the highest quality product that Wynn has ever created. And they are known as the gold standard of integrated resorts in the world. I'm a hotelier, I'm a career hotelier. I can tell you what they are doing. We guys don't even dream of it. I mean, if you just see the hirings that they are doing, they have chefs only to make, let's say, chocolates. There is a chef and a full team. They only will make chocolates, nothing else. There is a chef and a team which will only make candies. I mean, they are hyper specialists and uber luxury product people. And when you create something like that, then that demand, I would argue that UAE has not even seen that high quality demand as yet. Yeah. And that is that new type of demand which will come, which will stay in a Janu, for example, or stay in one of the nicer hotels. I won't name mine.
You can plug it. It's fine.
No, it's okay. There's a model right behind. There's no need to plug it. But you get the drift that it is a very high quality destination in the making. The last thing I want to say is there are plans, there are dreams, and then there are, difficulty. There is a difficulty between plans and dreams. Why? Because you may hear that, oh, that location will come up and it will do very well. But if you were to ask how much is the time scale for it, it's hard to give that time scale, right? The best part about Marjan for a seller, for you guys are all sellers, for a seller is A, when is Wynn coming? There's a straight, clear answer for it. When is Wynn coming? Wynn is coming in 2027, right? Second, maybe it'll spill over for a couple of months here or there, but we can see the whole building topped out and all of that. And the second is that the entire island, if you see, 70-80% of the construction would be over by 2030. So we are 4 years away from a super hot destination, something that would have taken 15-20 years in most other markets and has taken in the last couple of years that amount of time. The kind of money, the kind of push by Marjan as a master developer, all that has changed. So the capital stacking has changed today. Earlier, there was not so much of capital available to run projects of this size. And therefore, large projects used to take 5-10 years. Not anymore. And that's why I think this destination in a couple of years would be on everybody's lips. And therefore, it's a very easy sell compared to many other places where you have to say a lot of other things which are not tangible.
Okay, have we got any more questions out there? I'm sure there's a few. No? Yeah. Yeah, Lydia?
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is from Anthony. I have to yes, sure, Janae. Sorry, yeah. Issue is, and we got have only the one background also, got from main stage. Sure. So it's good today for you answer. I want to know what you speak about the future of holiday of the short term Brand Johnson as a canon, because not many people talk about it. Everybody is mentioning some big, but the short term part, not many people or agents are discussing it, and I believe that's really important and big part that can play questions in it. And also, we have a lot of hotels there. So, do you think it's going to be difficult for the holiday home companies to achieve the yield that they are looking for because of the jails, or you think they still have to earn that?
In the difference between holiday homes and the hotels is the flexibility that we can play with the rates. Like on Monday, we can give it for 100 dirhams, and on Saturday, we can give it for 1,000 dirhams. Because end of the day, we're looking to achieve a specific number. While in the hotels and in the hospitality, they have a yearly budget that they cannot go through it, and they cannot give cheap rates. Whenever you see an hotel is giving a cheap rate, means there's a chaos in the region itself, like you're seeing right now. Therefore, for holiday homes, they can really outperform the hotels by being very competitive when it comes to the rates. Also, they have the flexibility to have people checking in and out without having the headache of an hotel by submitting your passport and doing all sorts of stuff. And not to mention the most important part, that I'm sure most gamblers, they like smoking. And you can smoke in a holiday homes apartment, while you cannot be able to do this in an hotel. So when it comes to the short-term rental, no, there's no worries about it at all. And I'm a firm believer that they're gonna even outperform most of the hotels or the hotel apartments that are being built out there, without offending anyone. Yeah.
No offense, Jeff.
And I also think because there are in total about 18,500 hotel keys. So I don't think that's enough for the kind of volume that's going to come in.
It's an 8,500 hotel keys that is currently in Ras Al Khaimah. That's right. We're expanding by another 8,000 by 2030. So talking about the figure itself, we're talking about 15,000 keys.
Yeah.
You know how much we're expecting number of visitors? These are studies that have been made. It's not my data or Saurabh's data or anyone. We are expecting between 3.5 to 5.8 million visitors a year. Currently, we are at 1.3 on only 8 tag. We are going to triple this number, and we need to triple the number of keys as well, right? There is no enough hotel keys as such to cover this next year that will start to ramp up this number of tourism that we are expecting. And to be able to cover this gap, we always say we will rely on the private sector, which I have my friend here, that he is helping us a lot with that. But as well, what you have mentioned is spot on. There is another level of demand that doesn't fit in all the hotels. Like you will find it elsewhere. Like maybe there are some clientele, they would like to come and visit Wynn, but they don't want to always stay at Wynn, or they want to be having an apartment or a hotel apartment kind of style. So thank you for taking this answer, but I just wanted to give the data. But thank you for the question. It's a good question.
Okay, any more questions? Yeah.
For the last few years, did you think
Who's it for? Anyone? Just general.
here, Pacific, since you are mostly there, because you're going at good pace, construction is going good, and I personally sold it JW and a few other projects in Marjan. What are the biggest milestones that investors should be looking for in the next 12 to 24 months? The win is going well, but beyond that, it's not just an individual who's okay to gamble will be there. There will be families there, there will be kids there. What's coming up for them as we look for new investors in the market? We try and explain to them that it's not just a casino. Of course, it's a good destination, but beyond that, what are the milestones they should be looking for in the next 12 to 24 months?
Okay, so let me answer this in two aspects. First of all, you need to understand what are the unique selling points for Ras Al Khaimah. Before we talk about Marjan as an urban planning, the urban or the beachfront destinations or the mountain. We have already on board, like in Ras Al Khaimah, we have the 43 kilometers of the pristine beaches that is already there. We have the mountain, which is the highest point in UAE, Jabal Jais. We are doing more of lands and building infrastructure and creating a resort on it will be the first mountain resort in the UAE. It will be coming very soon into the market, if I can mention here. So it will be end of this year expected. Might be having a slight change to the plan, but it is already ongoing as the plan. You have the desert, and it is something that I always feel it's different in going to Ras Al Khaimah. I'm not sure if you have been to Ritz-Carlton Al Wadi. That can as well give you the reserve, and you have the wild is around. You have the oryx and the gazelles are around with a very unique offerings in terms of the hospitality under the Ritz-Carlton brand. So moving beyond that, what can be offered, we keep on planning what are the expected upcoming attractions to Ras Al Khaimah. We will have many coming up. In the meantime, our focus is what we have created, the most expensive construction of a hospitality so far, a $5.1 billion. That is the Wynn. Second is the whole infrastructure upgrades that we are building today to enhance the accessibility and mobility towards the communities. Then there will be more of, as I explained before, a public facility or the public infrastructure, schools, hospitals, clinics, nurseries, that is already ongoing. That would be announced in the near future as well. Some of them are under construction and has been announced, like RAK Academy, but many are coming and it's about to get announced.
Also, if you could throw some light on the Marjan World on Island 4.
I cannot, my friend. It's still out. It's going to be announced very soon, but it is a very interesting attraction. that is as well is going to add an addition to the master plan or the island. I can just say that it's a mixed use development. RD is the developer. They are working and taking their own time to make a proper plan for this circle. So we'll talk about it very soon. It is ongoing. I can assure you that's going to be announced very soon.
Last question before we wrap up. Yes, please.
Okay. Do you want the mic? Do you want to get the gents on the mic?
Yeah, the mic's coming to you.
Hi, welcome everybody to be here. The last question is from my side. What is the biggest risk of investing in Marjan Island and how the protectors can protect themselves? One.
You're the best to answer.
Miss one. Risk of missing out.
You are absolutely right. That is the right answer.
That's right.
And then we are an investor also, right? In 4 years, our land price has moved up by 900%. I paid you that check. Okay? In 4 years, 900% has been the increase in land. If you ask me, a product of today, although 4 years back was not available, but if I was to do an apple to apple, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, today whatever is available at 2500, you can also check if I'm right or wrong, was available back then at about 600 or 700. So the prices of apartments have moved up only by 400%, while land has moved up by 900%. Can you see the delta? That delta is why new developers have to charge more, because the land has gone up. And therefore, and of course, I'm not even going into the direction of how now that the construction costs are moving up and all of that. So from over here, you would see rates really shooting up, especially in anticipation of Wynn when it comes. So to my mind, the risk of not acting is only seen when you have crossed that stage. But that is what you have as a risk.
So also I'll tell you, as an investor, I'm loud enough. So as an investor, you have an escrow account in place, all the laws, there are all investor protection laws that are existing in Ras Al Khaimah. So that way you're secured. And one very important thing, another reason why it will go up and why somebody should invest, Al Marjan Island, that's the size of Al Marjan Island, right? It's a supply and demand, right? It's a pure supply and demand game. Like here in Dubai, we have from Jabal Ali all the way to international city Al Warsan. And you have master plans in between, right? So there are so many, of course, there are so many beautiful attractions in Dubai, right? And there are so many good reasons why somebody should invest in Dubai. In Ras Al Khaimah, and it's my personal opinion, the hero of the story is Al Marjan Island. And you would want to, as an investor, that's a part you would want to have. As in real estate, when we learn real estate, the first thing that our mentors will teach us, when you want to invest in real estate, 3 things you should look at: location, 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 right? So this is the location because this is the hero. This is the reason why, and there are of course other tens and tens of reasons why somebody should consider to invest in Ras Al Khaimah. But out of all those reasons, my hero is Wynn, Al Marjan. So that's why I feel, because of the supply, you see at these islands, that's all it is. So rest, whatever will come, of course, is the ones they miss. If I cannot afford to buy a Patek, I will go for something else, right? So what is my second best option? So this is my first best option. And of course, if I cannot afford that, if I feel for my pocket, I have missed a boat, I will go for second option and third option. Hence, that's why me personally, I'm very bullish about Al Marjan Island and the new developments that are coming in.
But having said this, also do not just jump on any developer coming to the area. There is so many are just following the hype. There's so many developers that no one has heard of. They just came out of nowhere. So if you want to invest over there, make sure that if you're signing even a product, that this developer has a track record. They have delivered before. They are well pricing the property. They are giving proper quality for your investors to be having. And most importantly, if your investor is a flipper, make sure that you are selling them a property that they can exit from, not get stuck in it because there's a high commission or whatever they're offering you, guaranteed return or whatever they offer. So just make sure you're selling something decent and proper.
I'll just add one last thing before we wrap this, if you allow me. Yeah, it's very annoying. Just that we just say it here. So many people have asked this question from 2022. Is it too late? Am I missing on the opportunity? And I can have this answer straight away. The story haven't started yet. When the story, I would say, it started, you have the Wynn is open, and you have the inflow of tourism that start the ball to roll. That is when I can go and tell you, this is the beginning. Now, together, whatever we are investing today is for the early birds, whom evaluated, as Umar just mentioned, that the people that come and they look at the demand and supply and decide that, you know what, we are going to take the initiative because we know this story and we have seen it before. So we understand that this is the time to step in today and get a good quality, and you have the assurance of all the plans are happening. So when it was announced, and exactly what Saurabh have mentioned, when was announced as Wynn, prices were somewhere at the land. Then when it started to be above the ground, people started to invest more and the prices started to go higher. Today, this tower is topped up. It's complete, it's structure. You can see how it looks like with the glass facade out. This is already installed. This is another store. When it is operational, you see another lab. This is the answer to your ask.
I also, I'm not a broker, but I interact with brokers a lot. I feel, and I could be wrong, but I feel that today, last month, this month, next month, brokers are struggling to engage investors on a conversation about RAK. I think that is true. What can we say to them to then go on?
Tell them to say, hey boy, conversation. It's not for everyone.
See, I'll tell you, it's a very good question. And this is what I tell my team, and this is what I will also request everyone, if you can follow it. Improve your knowledge about Ras Al Khaimah, about Al Marjan, the fundamentals. Why should someone invest in Ras Al Khaimah? Why should someone consider to invest in Al Marjan? When you have your numbers right, I promise you it will make sense for the investor. It's a very good question. And this is a question before we choose to sell in RAK, we should be asking ourselves, why would I buy in RAK, right? Why do I think? Get those numbers right. When your numbers are right now, who is buying in Ras Al Khaimah? Who is buying in Al Marjan? I can tell you with my experience, 90% or 95% of people that we are selling to are investors, right? Right now, at this stage. But once the Wynn opens, once the jobs will create, you will see a lot of end users coming in. That is phase 2. It's not that there are no end users buying. We have had a lot of clients who bought in Ras Al Khaimah in multiple of our projects as an retirement, or a second home. So there are people are buying, but I look at them as investors. So a lot of investors are looking to invest right now, but an investor and a smart investor would want someone to give him the right numbers. Let the numbers talk, and then my job is done. Let the numbers do my job, right? Please.
I wish from you and happy as well. So it's a master project that is going on. There's an average time for an investment for any industry that comes in. They have a time period where they want to fix it. So what do you guys think, since obviously with the current scenario, we know the prices have gone down and these are primary sales that has happened. Now they might come in secondary sales. So it's all paper, that how it's going on if the prices are increasing. So what's the average time for an investor to invest in Ras Al Khaimah, sit down and wait and then see the results?
So, okay, real estate, when people invest, there are different cycles. We say short term, medium, and long term. In reality, when you're investing in an asset class, which is real estate, your short term is 3 to 5 years. Now, some of us learned the language wrong. Short term here means 3 to 5 months. It's a wrong language.
Right.
3 to 5 does not exist. You're buying in real estate. It's an asset class that you let it sit. You let it breathe. Historically, you take any market. You buy a property in Timbuktu. Leave it alone as long as you have done your study and you have invested right in the right property. You leave it alone, let it breathe for 5 years, 7 years. You will see it will be 2x, 3x. Again, will that imply in all the markets? No, but you will see that appreciation happening in the market. For something like Marjan, because it's a new market, it's a fresh market. I'm anticipating, and because of the supply, lack of supply, I see my graph, as I initially mentioned, if you are buying at 2,000, 3,000 or the branded residences at 4,000 right now, I see them crossing 10,000. Now, this is my opinion. And I gave you the reasons of the supply and the demand for it.
Can I add something over here? I kind of agree with you, but I have a counterpoint.
Don't disagree. We are selling W.
No.
We are selling.
No. I have a counterpoint about Marja, and I think there is a watershed moment that he spoke about that race start time. That race start time happens when Wynn opens. You see, $5.1 billion, let's say 20 billion dirhams of investment is happening. Is it right to say that you may have 5% of that $5 billion as marketing fund for launching it? I think it is possible. I think it should be, right? They would have kept that aside. That's $500 million that they'll spend on marketing. Wynn. Who do you think in the world would not know about Wynn? If we thought that Atlantis Royale had a great launch and everybody learnt about it, that was because marketing funds were spent on it. When the who's who, the entertainers of the world came and performed and all of that. That's all going to happen over here as well. So the fact of the matter is that is the time when everybody and its uncle would know about it, and that would be a time when a lot of early movers would exit and find a great exit, and new investors who would now want to invest in an asset where there is no leap of faith. Proof of concept is in front of them, right? They can see that Wynn is ready, it's open, everything else is under construction. So a lot of people would say, okay, check. I'm good. I'll pay more, but I'll get it. So in every market, you have early adopters, you have followers, and then you have the laggards. Laggards pay the highest, okay? So the first 15-20% is the early adopters. They have already come and they are coming right now. And then when Wynn happens, then it's that balance 70% which will come in, I would think.
Okay. So to answer your question, adding on what Umar has already said, so it's okay, I don't feel it. It's all depending on when did your client entered the market. What was the price? For example, in my case, I entered on 2,000 dirhams a square foot. I will think of exiting when it hits 10,000. But also, if I want to really invest in that area, I don't have to sell. I can call in the bank and ask them to get an evaluation, and then I can get an equity release on the higher evaluation, which is the 8,000 or 10,000 dirhams a square foot. And based on that, I can pick up that cash and start looking into owners who heavily leveraged in that area, who bought a lot without having that liquidity that they want to get out of it as soon as possible, and then I can obtain more properties through it. So again, there's no ceiling. We will know what will be the actual price per square foot when the casino will be operating, and when we're gonna start having those 5 million, almost 5 to 6 million visitors. This is where the big energy would be there. But as an advice to you, tell your clients, don't leave it yet. Better to release equity and to invest more in it, because this is where they're gonna accumulate actual wealth.
Okay, so I was gonna just about. I think you just one last Assaf. Do you want a last question? Go on.
To Mr. Saurabh, is regarding W Mari, which I have sold properties JW for you in the present, and as a couturier, you understand more than anyone here. What is your projection? For example, I've had sold one at 1.394 million, and my investors, they're not resellers. They're long-term investors who understands the value of this product.